What's up, my freedom-loving friend? What you're about to see is a short clip that I think you'll like. It's taken from my show, exclusive on Rumble, Lies You Can Trust, which you can watch every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. Now enjoy the clip. So Alex Stein, he hit 2 grand slams yesterday. Alex Stein, he does his show at Blaze up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but he came down to Austin yesterday. He was at the Capitol. You know, it's a big day at the Capitol. And before we get to what I think is the funniest clip, let's get to the most viral clip. What this is MSNBC was on site. You know, national news coverage was at the Capitol of Texas in Austin doing their dirty work. And Alex Stein was walking through. Watch what happened next.
We just watched the speaker gavel out with a whole lot of anger, Kelly. Here's the state of play. Here's the
MSNBC sucks.
Hey, how are you?
MSNBC sucks. Talk to you for a second. MSNBC sucks.
You can see the frustration.
Sometimes this happens, and we understand that that can happen. And while we love free speech, we're going to keep control here. So, Ryan, thank you. Shaq, thank you. A volatile story. We'll be following it. And apparently, not only Shaq cleaned up.
She lost it. She wasn't expecting the Alex Stein effect, nor should she. But in true Alex Stein fashion, he had that grin on his face the whole time, making sure people watching MSNBC heard that MSNBC sucks. I retweeted this just kind of like ironically, that's the best thing I've seen on MSNBC. And it's kind of like, well, this doesn't suck. Maybe MSNBC is pretty good because I like this. And if they have Alex Stein on more often, I might become a fan. But just cheers to Alex Stein. By the way, like I would never, like I have a lot of respect. If someone's filming something or they're in a private conversation in a public space, even though it's a public space, unlike Antifa, I respect that. I'm not going to intrude. However, I have zero respect for a propaganda outlet like MSNBC, so I have no problem with what Alex Stein did. You know, I have a different opinion. I'm here for it. And Alex Stein, if you're watching, I want more. But Alex Stein wasn't done. I think this is earlier in the day. He was testifying before a Senate committee, and he makes some good points. And one of the points he made follows the leftist logical thread and makes a good point for why we do need trans in the military. And it's not what you would expect. This is the biggest grand slam. Let's check it out. Alex Stein testifying at the Texas Senate Committee on State Affairs.
Welcome. Introduce yourself. Go ahead.
My name's Alex Stein. I'm considered one of the sexiest men in conservative politics. And one thing I want to say, a lot of people are going to hear my testimony. You're going to say you're anti-LGBTQ. I want to say that's impossible because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So obviously I have a lot of gay pride. But, you know, a lot of conservatives like yourself, you want to outlaw transgenders in women's sports. I disagree. I like transgenders in women's sports because you can gamble on them and win money. And I won so much money on Leah Thomas's propeller in that pool. I almost turned draft kings into draft queens. And, you know, I actually like transgenders in the military, too, because, first of all, transgenders are some of the meanest people on planet Earth. So they make a good soldier, don't you think? And then, you know, second of all, transgenders love to do mass shootings. So, you know, that's perfect for a military veteran. And then on top of that, the suicide rate is incredibly high among transgender people. So we could just use them like the Taliban has suicide bombers. Maybe you guys can actually, you know, if you commit suicide, actually help us in the battlefield. So that would be good. So I think we need transgenders in the military and women's sports. Now, when we come to the bathroom bill, though, this is an asymmetrical problem because, first of all, no dude cares if, like, a bisexual woman comes in there and tries to use, like, a pee funnel. You know, some lady boy comes in there, some, you know, stud comes in there, wants to pee in a urinal. No guy's going to be threatened by, you know, a trans woman. But we don't want these gargoyles in a dress, you know, some chick with a dick coming in there and trying to pee or poop next to my girlfriend because that's disgusting. And, well, I was going to say something. Listen, I have my First Amendment right. Let me just speak. So we're sick of these transgenders trying to invade women's personal spaces These people have autogynephilia, they're sexual perverts, and they actually get satisfaction from going there and looking under a stall. So these are mentally ill people that are on hormones, that are on all kinds of pills, they're impulsive, and they do not belong in a women's restroom. So if some of you lesbians want to come in and pee next to me, you're more than welcome. So we just don't let the chicks with dicks in the women's room, and you guys are all welcome in the men's room. I think that works.
Thank you very much.
You guys are all welcome in the men's room, and the bit about suicide rates in the trans community being incredibly high. Well, like the Taliban, we could use them as suicide bombers. Wow. Have you ever wondered what the legendary Chuck Norris is up to? Like, is he just at home having ChatGPT ask him questions? Well, I recently saw a video he made and I was surprised. Chuck Norris is in his 80s and he's still working out, kicking butt, taking names, staying active. What's even more surprising is he's stronger, he can work out longer, and still have plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. How'd you like to have Chuck Norris as your grandfather? But anyway, he did all this by making one change, and he says he still feels like he's in his 50s. And his wife even started doing this one thing, and she's never felt better. She feels 10 years younger, she's leaner, and she has all-day energy. And luckily, Chuck made a special video explaining this one thing he does, which you can watch by going to chuckdefense.com/JP. This video will change how you look at health and fitness. Once again, you can watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/JP or click the link below in the description. You won't believe how simple it is. And just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is 84 years old, but has more energy than most men half his age. He discovered that he could make dramatic changes to his health by focusing on just 3 things that typically sabotage people's health as they age. And you can watch his method by clicking on the link in the description box below or go to chuckdefense.com/JP. Now back to the program. Now, before we go, I've got a couple questions. First off, who's this guy to Alex Stein's left? He's just sitting there like this is normal. He's not smiling. I don't know who this guy is, if he was with Alex Stein, so he's in on it, or this guy is just so, like, could work for Elon at Doge kind of thing, where he's just, I don't know what's going on. I guess this is normal. Or if he's just like biting the inside of his cheeks to either withhold the laughter. Looking at him, I doubt he's needing to withhold rage. That's beautiful. Question number 2. How does Alex Stein keep a straight face? Now, I do think I have an answer to this, because sometimes people say, hey, I watched such and such. I thought it was hilarious. How do you keep a straight face when you're doing your funny stuff? And the answer is, it's just like you can't tickle yourself. When someone else tickles you, it's going to feel way more ticklish than if you try to tickle yourself. Why? You need the element of being out of control in order to feel the sensation of tickled. Same thing psychologically for laughter. So Alex Stein has a pretty good idea of what he's going to be saying. So he's in control, and therefore he's able to keep a straight face like a freaking satirical master. Third question I have. How's this lady feel? You know, first off, she's culturally appropriating redhead culture. That ain't a natural shade of red. You just see it better here. That's not a natural shade of red. So she is a bigot. She is appropriating my people, the gingers. And you, if you're not a ginger, cannot pronounce ginger with a hard R or else. So she was keeping her cool. I don't know who she is. Is she trans? I don't know. She looks like it. But you definitely heard the trans people towards the end when he started just getting real about, women use the men's restroom. We don't care. Come pee next to me. But when he starts talking about like the real issues, men in dresses using women's restrooms next to women, next to girls, you hear the LGBTQ community start screaming from the back. But yeah, how does this lady feel? How does he keep a straight face? Who is this guy? Just acting like Stone Cold Steve Austin the whole time. I don't know, but ladies and gentlemen, America just got better. These are 2 absolute, not home runs, grand slams that Alex Stein hit out of the ballpark yesterday at the Texas State Capitol. So, Alex Stein, Thank you for serving your country, brother. We are better because of you.